This is a brief video about how to deal with an issue, possibly it's a bug, but a pretty serious issue in FSL where if you have a different number of TRs across data sets, let's say 5 data sets have a TR of 200 and then one data set has a TR of 170. If you try to batch these all at the same time through the FSL GUI, especially in MELODIC, it's going to crash once it reaches a person with a different number of TRs. So what do? You can't necessarily do this all through the MELODIC GUI. You have to use the MELODIC command line. So this is both an introduction to how to get around that issue and also to use MELODIC from the command line. So we're going to kind of kill two birds with one stone. All right, so let's say that in one of these people that I wanted to use for my grand ICA analysis across a bunch of subjects, one of them had a different number of TRs. So I can't put this person in the multi-session concatenated ICA along with everybody else, which is kind of a problem. So within here, what I would do is I would first see where they have the resting state data set, which is in this subdirectory right here. I'm using the KKI data set just for your information. And I would open up the FSL GUI, open up feat, and what I would do is just pre-stats. So this only highlights pre-stats and registration, essentially doing all the pre-processing and also registration. So I'm not going to go in depth from all this, but I would want all these pre-processing steps to be the same as what I would have if I were doing this thing for all of my subjects in a multi-session ICA. But I would do all this to get a data set that's pre-processed, filtered, and also registered to a common space. Okay, so I'll just have to do that for everybody. And again, if you have different blocks of people with the same TR, you can batch all those people together to do all the pre-processing, registration. That's all fine. But once you have all of them done, you're going to need to use the MELODIC command line to process everybody. All right. So here I have something called ICAList.txt. What this has is a path. Okay, this is a relative path just from where I'm starting right now, which directs where everybody's filtered functional data set is. The one that's been pre-processed, motion corrected, smooth, and also registered to a standard space. Right? So I'm going to have 10 lines, one for each subject, a relative path pointing towards their filtered func data set, which I'll need. Okay, so I point that out because we're going to need that for the actual MELODIC command line. And here is what it is. MELODIC, and the I is going to be this text file. So ICA underscore list is the list of subjects that I had. I'm going to say A is concat. This is, what do I want to do? Is a single subject? Is it with tensor ICA, or is it just concatenating everybody across time? So the concat option means that I'm doing the concatenation option. That was very redundant, but there's no going back now. O is going to be the output data set. Sorry, not the output directory. And let's say everybody's been processed, so -- no bet. Don't do skull scripting again because that might start to strip away layers of cortex. And as anybody who's ever undergone that knows, it's very, very painful. D is a number of independent components I want to estimate. So as I was showing in the previous video, usually 30 is a good number. It's a sweet spot, which is a good balance between under and overfitting of the amount of components that you want. So you're going to get good discrimination, but you're also not going to load too much variance on any one component. mmthresh is that same command that we had in the MELODIC GUI, which says, what do you want for your threshold for the ICA? In other words, that's the balance between sensitivity, specificity that we talked about before. Just for argument's sake, let's say 0.5. And then TR in seconds is 2.5. So once I run that, it's going to, I can just do that right now. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Whoa. Good thing that I caught that. So with these options with -- if they need something after it, you need to make it an equal sign. So hit enter. This thing's going to take a really, really long time, so I'm not going to have it do the whole thing, but that's basically how you would do it from the command line. So remember, if you have different subjects who have a different number of TRs from the rest of your data set, you'll need to do the pre-processing and registration individually. Once that's done, you can then use the melodic command line to run the multi-session temporal concatenation, and then you'll be good to go.